What looked like was going to be a fantastic finish to a fantastic game saw Michigan collapse in the fourth quarter in the face of Arch Manning and Texas. Let's talk about why this went away from Michigan, what Arch Manning did to pull it away from Michigan, and how we can look at Bryce Underwood and Arch Manning going into the 2026 season, as well as are these top 25 teams going into 2026? What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If you're into that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer the question in the comments below. Do you believe that these two teams will make the college football playoff in 2026? These two teams being number 13, Texas, and number 18, Michigan. Each team entered the Cheez-It Bowl 9-3. Each team entered the season with what we thought was going to be outstanding quarterbacks, and turns out in that second half truly was. And in 2026, both these quarterbacks expected to be back, and I think both of them are going to be front runners, or I should say, both of them are going to start the season in the Heisman Trophy conversation, despite the performance by Bryce Underwood late. You see the tools there. I also believe that having Kyle Whittingham as head coach is really going to change the tenor of this program and is needed. I'm enthusiastic about this hire. I think you're about to go on to a different era, but also be just as competitive as you expect to be without all the mess that has been surrounding the University of Michigan. Michigan fans that I'm friends with, yes, I have friends who are Michigan fans, are really enthusiastic about this too, and have been fair in going, yes, this is too much, right? This is not the program or the university that I went to school to, and I would very much like to see all of this wiped away, and Kyle Whittingham's going to help you do that. And he's doing things with class. He's entering, understanding the privilege that it is to be a head coach in Michigan. One of my favorite things that he has done so far, and he said this during the broadcast, is I interviewed every single player on the roster. Probably first question is, are you staying or going? Right? Fair. And he said that took about 20 to 22 hours. So the man is diligent, he's detailed, and he is in it. In this game, I'm sure that he was doing a lot of making faces while watching it, because there were some ecstatic moments for Michigan and there were some really bad moments for Michigan. And the ecstatic moments for Michigan were really good. This was a fist fight all the way through the third quarter, 17 up at halftime. Or Bryce Underwood was playing really well until he wasn't. And I think a big part of that is the Texas defense decided to start coming after him and then making plays on the ball. That secondary's got outstanding ball skills. And Will Muschamp is going to have such a good time with that secondary, because when the ball's in the air, their wide receivers going after it. And you saw the 3 interceptions and the fumble that was recovered, or I should say the 3 interceptions. Let's not do the fumble by Bryce Underwood. 2 in the fourth quarter, where the game felt like it was still in the balance and something they could do. I'm looking at this and I'm asking myself what happened aside from throwing those interceptions. Well, Arch Manning happened for one. Dude that had an Arch Manning line. Like, if he has this kind of line week in and week out in 2026, it's going to be difficult to deny this guy the Heisman Trophy, because he has all the character traits that you want. One of the reasons I believe that Fernando Mendoza was easy to vote for as the 2025 Heisman Trophy winner is he's a fantastic human. And in a sport where we have been inundated with not fantastic humans, and we've seen really crappy displays of character lately, to say nothing of Diego Pavia and his Instagram story about Heisman voters. Look, dude, I don't agree with him either, but that is not the way to express your dissatisfaction. To Sharon Moore, we can keep going, right? Like, we've got all sorts of nastiness and mess in college football. But Arch and Fernando represent what you want the sport to look like and what you want it to be about. Seeing Arch Manning go 21 to 35 for 221 with 2 TDs is, I think, an outstanding line. Then add to that 9 rushes for 155. That's 17.2 yards per rush. And he was one of 2 100-yard rushers in this game, which I think is pivotal for a Steve Sarkisian offense. He needs a 1,000-yard rusher. He needs a back that can carry the load. And Christian Clark has auditioned and I think passed 20 rushes for 105 yards. That's 5.3 yards per carry with a TD. Had Arch Manning not gone off for, 377 total yards with 4 total TDs in a 41 to 27 thrashing of a top 25 team, we're probably talking about a different MVP in this game. But I would be remiss if I did not point out Ryan Wingo showed up to work, 4 catches, 64 yards. Emmett Mosley, the fifth, also showed up to work. 5 catches for 51. Roommate Parker Livingston even got in there. But again, the defense played its behind off. Like, we could sit here and lambaste Bryce Underwood for throwing those interceptions. I will remind many folks he's a true freshman. And the tools you saw, like that run he made late to get the ball over the line, maybe it was a fumble and touchback, maybe not, but the effort was there, and the John was there, and the presence is there. I think Kyle Whittingham's going to have such a great time with this. To say nothing, Jason Beck, and you've seen what Devin Dampier is capable of doing in that offense they run. I'm excited for him. I really am. I think this is going to be a great thing. Watch this game, or at least just watch the fourth quarter. And that's something that Kyle Whittingham is going to help you out tremendously with. But the defense held Michigan to 4 of 17 on third down. 17 chances, you converted 4 of those. That's huge. Like, again, Will Muschamp is going to add some aggression to this defense. They're going to get after people. He is I'd say 15 years ago, he was a loud dude, right? 6 years ago, he was a loud dude. I want to see just how mellow he might be. We'll see, right? By his standards, he might be mellow. Maybe he's not breaking whiteboards anymore in team meeting, but we'll see, right? Also, you were really good, all things considered. Now, do you want to give up 174 rushing yards to anybody? No, but you did in this game. You only allowed 27 points. Meanwhile, Texas, 235 on the ground, mostly from 2 players. No sacks allowed of the quarterback. Now, a lot of that is Arch Manning in the open field is a 1997 Toyota Supra. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're not a car person, and that is okay. That's all right. But when I heard, I love Mark Jones, by the way, to the heart, one of my favorite play-by-play guys. When I heard him say pop the clutch, when it was clear that Arch had thrown that mug from 5th back into neutral. You know, it was just kind of wiggling it to make sure it wasn't in gear. I was like, oh no. Pop the clutch would have been at the start when he's coming out of that pocket. Not at the end. You don't pop the clutch at the end. You just pull it out of gear and you're coming into a stop, baby. You're pushing the clutch in as you're coming to a stop. Anyway, some of y'all know how to drive manual. Some of y'all are millennials. I always tell the children, millennial, excuse me. Some of y'all Gen Zers, I'm a millennial. I always tell them it's idiot proof, you know, like I don't need to lock the doors on my MR2 Spider because can't none of y'all drive it. They open the door and be like, damn, what's that thing doing in the middle? Anyway, I enjoy watching Arch evade pressure. And there was one where I was going, his ability to just step up in the middle of that blitz. It was an oncoming, like first Wink showed blitz, dropped out of it. And then Arch ran into it. This time he sit blitz and Arch let the blitz go by him and then ran up the middle through it and then just again, the dude's got outstanding abilities with the ball in his hands. Like, had he not been an extraterrestrial quarterback of the Manny variety, you would say he takes after his daddy. That's a wideout, dog. His ability in the open field is something that I enjoy watching. And I don't know that there are too many other dudes that I would say that about at the quarterback position. I'm not going to take it there, but you can see my face that I wanted to take it there. That any of y'all seen remember the Titans and Ronnie Bass? That is the light version. Damn, almost did it there. Don't you say it. No pausing in the comments. None of that. I'm gracefully telling you I have a good time watching Arch Manning play quarterback. And I think that's going to happen in 2026. Are these top 25 teams? I think so. Given what Kyle Whittingham's track record has been as a head coach, 21 season in Utah, 177-80. He beat Nick Saban in the Sugar Bowl, and they went undefeated in 2008. He's won 2 Pac-12 championships, Mountain West championship. Only losses this year, because that team went ahead and just finished it out strong with 11 wins, is to Texas Tech and BYU. Those 2 teams played in the Big 12 championship, and one of those teams, first team out, according to me. BYU should have got in over Notre Dame, but that's another segment altogether. I think that if they continue to progress, I still think you need to go into the portal and get someone else at that running back position. I think that should Jaden Baugh go into it, yeah, pay him $1 million come through. You probably won't, but I think you should because I think he can help you and put you over the top. I also think that Kayla Hawkins, maybe he's at Oklahoma State. Maybe someone else takes a run at him. The 1,800 yards from scrimmage at North Texas, still 1,800 yards from scrimmage. And there will be more, right, when the portal completely opens on January 2nd. But outstanding win for Steve Sarkisian in Texas. They get to close it out with wins against A&M. I think I misspoke in the last segment. I said they lost that game. That's on me. My fault. They beat that A&M team, right? And they beat this Michigan team. 2 teams that expected to play in the college football playoff this year and probably should expect to return to that conversation next year. I mean, I don't know that Colin Klein is that integral to what Marcel Reed is about, because if Marcel Reed doesn't throw the football to other people, Bryce Underwood, talk about a totally different kind of quarterback, totally different kind of team that is capable of winning a national championship. But Texas and Michigan, tweaks here and there. Some with the defense, some with the offensive line. With Texas, get another running back. Michigan, let's teach Bryce Underwood how not to throw the football to other people, and you got a winner.